Hi there, Virgos. Thanks so much for tuning in. Great news. October 27th through November 2nd, with the forward march of Mercury, your ruler, the planet of communication and clear thinking, which has been out of phase for pretty much all of October. And I really feel that it's not worth pushing things. I would wait until November, the first week of November, this weekend and beyond, to start pushing things through, because Mercury retrograde is often in a storm of not working properly. It's trying to get out of the storm, and it will. It's just not, it's sort of staggering through, trying to right itself. And there's no point in risking something important to you for the sake of a couple of days. For example, if you wanted to start a new business, if you want to get a business license, if you want to lease a car, if you want to buy a car, a refrigerator, a computer, a Samsung tablet, one of those watches that, tells you the news, those Apple watches, I don't know. I see people walking around with them reading their watch, and I'm like, what next? The Google glasses that all the news runs across, which is going to send everyone blind. Just wait on that. Just make sure that all you know, the what do they call when it's not working properly? Are fixed. I had to laugh because, people would be sending each other texts and messages, and everyone was just walking around looking at their phone like, wow, no one's texted me today. And I was like, well, they probably have, but you're not getting those messages because Mercury retrograde is like the blocker. And sure enough, 3 or 4 days later, they'd say, did you text me about something? I said, yeah, that was quite important what I texted you about. So we go back to the old-fashioned way of actually calling people, leaving voicemail messages, calling them. I've talked on the phone more than ever over the last couple of weeks, due to the fact that with Mercury retrograde, whatever could go wrong will go wrong. And you probably really felt it due to the fact that you're ruled by Mercury. But moving on, the planets are going to line up in Scorpio. Mars is moving into Capricorn, which is fabulous for you. That's your 5th house of romance, creativity, and self-fulfillment. For those of you who are single, be on the lookout for someone else who is single, looking to mingle. And if he's a Capricorn or she's a Scorpio or a Cancer or a Pisces, a Taurus, really good matches for you. And for those of you who are in a relationship and have been through a bit of a rocky time due to Mercury retrograde, or just because, now is a good time with Mars in Capricorn to really, find each other again. Maybe go somewhere for a long weekend and stay in bed the whole time. I think that people get into relationships and the relationship starts off hot and heavy, having sex 3 times a day, texting each other, seeing each other all the time. And that's the honeymoon period, and I get that. And then things start to taper off a little bit. And then the sex, obviously, you can't carry on like that because there are other things to do, unfortunately. And that starts to taper off a little bit. And then seeing each other and being together all the time, you start to realize, oh, I haven't seen my friends in 6 months. And it's amazing how it can go from, 60 seconds, gone in 60 seconds, like you're having all this crazy, passionate sex, to then twice a week, to then once a week. And within 2 years, people are complaining about their relationship. And it seems to me that there has to be a way of balancing it out, because that's usually when the trouble starts. I mean, they say the 7-year itch, but in Los Angeles, it's really more like the 2-year itch, People get married and get divorced so quickly, and it's such a shame. And I think that we've all got to work on how to maintain that level of intimacy as well as having your own life. And I think Venus in Scorpio and Mars in Capricorn are going to be very good teachers. Thanks so much for the call, and I will speak to you again next week.